Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and it's another random destruction. I think tomorrow I might try and do a Lurva review, possibly, but tonight, like I say, random destruction, and we're up to number 56, and yes, this is the Mutant 6 again. It's a tier 8 match, I believe, Siegfried Line Standard Battle, and I know I said I wasn't going to put this on again until next week, but I just couldn't resist. I've had this one sat on my hard drive for a couple of weeks now. As you can see, the Naughty and Nice op was on. So yeah, you've got a bit of a heavy tank fest tonight, I'm afraid. So I know there are some of you out there who aren't particularly fond of heavy tanks, but hopefully you'll still find this entertaining anyway. But yep, all three of them are heavies tonight. So the Mutant 6, it's going to be on sale in those bundles, isn't it? From the 16th, there is I think there is a bundle with this and one other, or this and a couple of other tanks in. So. In fact, I think it's this, the T-34 and something else. And it's basically an up-armoured version of the M6, so really thick armour on the front. I think it's 191mm, 229 on the front of the turret, and it's basically got the same gun as the T-29, but a slightly lower rate of fire. But I like this tank. Very, very tough from the front. And it's nice to have an upper and lower glacis plate that's tough, basically. A lot of the time, you know, your upper plate might be very tough, your lower one is not so much, but this one, yeah, they both are. And you can pen it from the turret, well, through the turret ring, should I say, if you've got enough penetration. You have to be fairly close and have, I'd say, just over 200mm of pen, but, you know, you can put it through the turret ring. Otherwise, from the front, your best bet is to try and go for the commander's hatch, or if the turret's turned slightly, and again you've got enough pen, sometimes the turret cheeks can be penetrated. It's not very thick armour on the sides. I think it's only about 80mm, 89 on the side. And of course the side and the rear of the hull are particularly weak as well. With it being an M6, so if you can get around the side of it, you won't have any problem penning the hull. It's only 66 and 51 on that side and rear. Now I've come into the town here a bit, and looking at the scores, we're 4 tanks down. I've managed to do a bit of damage, taken out that AT, but things are not looking good. We've now got a T20 behind me. Get a shot into him. But I'm going to have to turn around to try and deal with him, and there is a heavy just around the corner to my left as well that I am aware of. Oh, just missed. But he's been taken out anyway. There's the heavy, it's an IS, and yeah, if I can hit him, he's a one-hit kill. There we go. Now, I need to try and, I don't know, try and do something about these guys pushing through the town over to the east. It's... yeah, not looking too good. There's a Tiger, managed to get a hit on him. They've really pushed through, and yeah, we're really, really down on the scores now. We're 6 tanks behind. That is not good. There's a couple of Type 59s, I think they're platooned up as well, which is never a good thing, and I've just taken a hit in the side of the turret. Possibly from that tank destroyer on the other side of the town. And those Type 59s, yeah, it looks like they're homing in on me, or one of them is at least. Try and keep an eye on that one that's a bit further over to the left. And this guy's going to try and basically run me down, which is what he's doing now, and try and get around behind me. But I have managed to get a couple of hits on him, on his way, and if I can turn the turret and the hull, then the traverse isn't too bad. If I can just keep... oh, took another hit. One more should do it. I've got very good gun depression, and that's going straight down at the top of his turret. And there we go, straight through his turret roof. But things are looking very, very dire at the minute. In fact, yeah, there's only me and one other heavy left. There's the other Type 59. Can I get him? Can I get him? Just got to wait for the shot. Nope, he's ducking back. Oh, and I've got a tank destroyer coming up behind me now. Brilliant. It's a Jagdpanther. I'm going to have to... I don't know what I'm going to have to do. There's the Type 59, I think that is, and another tank destroyer coming in from behind. I'm just going to have to try and run this Jagdpanther down, and what I was trying to do is get to him, reverse back into this street, but it's not to be, and the Tiger finishes me off. If I could have just possibly got back into there, I might have had a chance at least taking another one out or doing a bit of damage. But no, not to be, I'm afraid. And I came out of that with just over 4,000 damage done, 1,700 blocked, and 151,000 silver with a high caliber as well. Although I did get, I got 5,000 silver from the op, so the rest of that was actually, yeah, just the tank's earnings, and that one put me at the top of the table with 4 kills as well. I do like the Mutant 6, as you know, that's why you've seen it. It's sort of one of my go-to tanks for grinding out silver. It can be quite a good silver earner, well, as you've just seen. Now, for those of you that saw my earlier video, I am going to be picking up that bundle with the T95E2 in at some point over the next couple of weeks, and also the Tiger 131. And I'm not sure which one to actually review first, so I'm going to ask you guys, which one would you like to see first, Tiger 131 or the T95E2? Let me know in the comments, and that'll sort of influence which one I'll probably get first and review first. But anyway, from one up-armoured tank to another, I'm in the Chinese Tier 8 medium tank, Tech Tree 1, and this is the 110. And this was actually an attempt by Soviet engineers to up-armour the IS-2. But then I think they dropped it in favour of a different project. Can't quite remember which one it was off the top of my head, and I believe they sold the plans to the Chinese. But yeah, so it was, like I say, the Mutant 6 was an up-armoured M6, this was an up-armoured IS-2, and I actually sold my IS-3 after playing this tank. I do much prefer this to the IS-3. The turret isn't as strong at the front, maybe not even at the sides as well. You've got 201mm of armour at the front, 148 at the sides, and 50 on the rear. But it just feels more mobile. The pike nose on the front feels more solid and seems to bounce a few more shots, especially at sort of medium range as well. And the lower glacis seems a bit bouncier as well. It is a bit taller though, and it doesn't have the spaced armour down the sides, but it also doesn't have that weak spot, that really thin armour plate that the IS-3 has on the top of its turret. So that's a bonus as well. And although this doesn't do as much damage because it has a 100mm gun instead of a 122, I think the I can't remember what the BL9 does on the IS-3. Is it 390 with about 225 pence, something like that? But that's got a rate of fire of about 4.8, I think it is, or 4.88. This is 100mm, it's got 215 pen, 320 damage, but it's got a rate of fire of 6 rounds a minute. And it's got slightly better accuracy and a better aiming time as well. And the hull armour is 120 on the front, 90 on the sides, and 60 on the rear. Oh, this is a Tier 8 match, I think it is, and an encounter, yeah, on Tundra, as you can see. Now, I've come over to the eastern side of the map to try and cover this hill. There wasn't that many sort of coming this way at first, and this guy did seem to be in a bit of trouble now. Took a hit from I think that was from the IS, and that was basically because he had the height advantage on me. I wasn't quite straight on, but it was mostly down to the height advantage. But that didn't help. But this T29, it looks like the 90mm, but the rate of fire seems a little bit quick for that. So it could be the 76, but he's just not going to pen. As you can see, he's damaged my gun, but he's just not penning. He's just bouncing off the turret, bouncing off the front of the hull there. It is a nice tank, and like I say, you know, I was going to keep my IS-3, but then I got this, got it upgraded and started playing it, and I much preferred this tank. So I don't know, if you're a fan of the IS-3 and that sort of thing, then, and you've not been down the Chinese heavy line, well, I can recommend the 110 anyway. The Chinese IS-2 is not bad. Its frontal armour is not quite as good as the premium IS-2, but it's still not a bad tank. But I do like this one. Now we've managed to win that hill, but they are capping, and now it's going to be a case of whether those guys over on the western side of the map can actually reset the cap. Or whether I can actually get over there as well, and this heavy in front of me to try and help out. Now, what we've got on the left here, we've got some heavy on the left. Now, there's 4 of them in the cap. There's only 30 seconds left. I can't really afford to stop and aim, but luckily I managed to hit him on the move. I was going a bit slower up that hill, and that helps with the aiming. But yeah, I couldn't really stop to deal with him, but I can put a shot in on the way past. Oh, and another one. That was lovely. Managed to hit him again on the move. And that one took him out. That was unexpected, but yeah, quite a pleasant surprise. Oh, it's looking very bad. Oh, good lad. Yeah, one of the heavies is it. He's managed to reset the cap. Just that bit, which has allowed me to get up and over here. I don't think I was going to make it in time. And it allowed me just to get over that ridge and cock up my shot and miss anyway. So, yeah, it's a good job he did reset the cap, because I would have screwed it up. But anyway, the Panther's been taken out. The Tiger's now been taken out. And we've got an IS-3 in there. And, of course, I just knock his tracks off as they eat my shot. Now I'm going to go for the side of the turret. There is an ammo rack, but I think I'm going for the wrong side. I think it's in the other side. And I might take some damage here from the IS-3. No, he decided to look at something else. And the IS-2, did my tracks eat that one, or did he actually do a bit? And I'm just going for the ram. Didn't really do much damage. I actually bounced off him because I got a bit overconfident and, yeah, just sort of aimed in front of me. So that was my own fault. Otherwise I would have got that kill then. And the IS gets taken out. So from nearly losing to the enemy team capping, we've gone to, well, all we've got to do is kill RT and we win now. And isn't it crazy when something like that happens, when you're about to lose and then all of a sudden, like, the team, you know, the remaining members of the team just sort of pull it together and, you know, turn it around into a win. And it's always a nice feeling as well. And he's got just a tiny little bit of health left. I'm probably going to take it here. It is a risk. And I do. And that was a very dodgy shot. And that was very, very lucky that I actually managed to hit that one. And that he didn't pen my engine deck. Because, yeah, I could have just had myself an early send back to the garage there. Now, don't get too excited over the XP. I did have a ×3 on. I'm trying to make a push to get out of this tank now, but I still came out of it with a high caliber and a first class mastery with 3,708 damage done, with 1,100 blocked as well. But when the 110's top tier played properly and, you know, given the enemy tanks the sort of right caution, if you see what I mean, there's certain ones that you will have to be cautious of. You know, they will be able to get through your lower plate or, you know, that sort of thing. But once you've learnt which ones those are, I mean, it's like with a lot of the tanks, once you've learnt, you know, which tanks you have to be cautious of in it, everything becomes a lot easier. But yeah, when it's top tier, the 110, it can be quite a dominating tank. I've had some very bad rounds in it as well, you know, just unfortunate, but I've had some very good ones. But yeah, that was a good, fun round. Now this is the last of the replays. I'm in the Russian tier 9 heavy tank, the T10. I said it was a bit of a heavy tank fest, and I've not got this fully upgraded yet. I've got the stock turret on it, which looks very similar to the one on the 110. It's tier 9 match, it's standard battle as well on Abbey. And it's not quite got the same armour though. It's still 201 on the front, but it's a bit less on the side at 129, but it's got 90 on the rear. And I'm still using the BL9 gun from the IS-3, 225 penetration and 390 average damage, although this does have a slightly lower rate of fire possibly than the IS-3. I seem to think that was 4.8, but this one's 4.7. 120mm on the front of the armour of the hull and 120 on the sides and 90 on the rear. And I've not been getting on with the T10. I don't mind admitting that. I don't know what it is about it. I enjoyed the IS-3. I know I was saying that, you know, I preferred the 110, and I do. And that's not to say that the IS-3 is a bad tank. There are some people that don't like it. It's just not their style of tank. I really did enjoy it. And I was kind of expecting more of the same when I got the T10, and obviously I know I've got to get it fully upgraded. I get more penetration, you know, slightly more rate of fire, I think it is, if I remember rightly, and, you know, better turret and more damage as well. But I just don't know what it was about it. Like I said, I was expecting a bit more of the same as the IS-3, but I don't feel that it can quite stand up the same armour-wise, and some of you guys advised me to play it more like a medium, and I have been doing, and I've been having a lot more success in it, but nothing spectacular. This started off looking pretty crap, to be honest. I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn at first. I'd not really got many places to sort of aim for, taking the shots that I can, really. There's a flat part just to the side of the gun on the T28 prototype. It's still thick armour, but it's a bit easier to pen because it's flat. And it just wasn't going very well, this match. But this ended up being the highest damage match that I've ever had in the T10. And possibly one of the better matches that I've had in it. It was, again, it was some fun times in it. So I've come down the eastern side near the river, and that was funny. I shot at the KV-3, and it was a bit of a dodgy angle. So it ricocheted off the side, but then it popped up that I'd done some damage, but none went off the KV-3. And then it occurred to me that I'd actually ricocheted off the side of the KV-3, and it had gone into the side of the T28 prototype instead. So yeah, that was quite amusing. That's the first time that's happened to me. I would ricochet off one tank, which then hit another tank and ricocheted off that one and straight up in the air. But I've never had a ricochet to a pen like that I can remember anyway. You guys might say, yeah, you did, it was in such and such, it was in random destruction, blah blah blah. But I can't remember ever having one like that, so yeah, that was quite fun. Now, between us, well, not so much me, I've not really done much damage, but they've managed, the other guys down here certainly have managed to force them back. The KV-3 looks to be taken out. That was a bit of a blind shot at where that was, a bulldog that popped out there. I thought he might just still be there, and luckily he was. Now, like I say, at this point, with 4 tanks down, I've got 2 assisted damage and 2 damage of my own. So, like I said before, it really wasn't looking to be a particularly good match, and I was just getting a bit, I don't know, just a bit fed up. I was getting fed up with this tank, to be honest. And I was getting a bit fed up in this match, and then I missed the M103. I was a bit hasty. Some of it was my own fault. You know, when you just have a bit of a thing about a tank and you kind of take it out on it and just seem to go into it with just bad thoughts in mind and what have you. And I don't know. But yeah, I just didn't think it was going to be very good, and then I took out the M103 and I thought, okay, it's not too bad. You know, I've got 3 pens now, the M103's gone. There wasn't too much up this end left. There was the T28 prototype. I might be able to deal with him if I can get behind him. Tiger P pops around the corner. And then I get damaged by a cheeky T54 behind me somewhere, I'm assuming up in the Abbey itself. And there's the T28 prototype. Now he's bounced. I'm trying to hide my hull as best I can, and I managed to get through his side. He's at a bit of an angle, and you really don't want to angle the T28 prototype. Its side armour is garbage. And even sort of a bit of an angle like that can be partially overmatched, and well, that's more of an angle. So straight through, and he's about dead now. But there's a T25/2 that's come to join in. Can I get him? Yeah, just managed to get a hit as he pulls back. And now, against these sort of lower tier, and well, even the T28 prototype should be able to pen the lower plate of this quite easily from that range, unless he's not got the 120mm gun, is it, that it gets? And I managed to get one through the commander's hatch of the Tiger P as he bounces off. The T28 prototype bounces again, although that could have hit the side of the upper plate, and go for the machine gun hatch, the flat part of the Tiger P. And at that range it was still 50-50, but luckily it went through. Will this one go through? Can I be lucky twice? I can, but that was a slightly low roll, which allowed the medium behind me to take him out. And now I'm just going to go straight past the prototype, although I did take a bit of a hit there. That's left me on 32 health. Put one into the side of him. I don't think I've got to worry about this bulldog, but this could... No, that was lucky. I didn't take any damage at all there. Knowing my luck, I probably would have killed myself if I was if it was anything else other than the bulldog. No, that was that T-54 that hit me. We're still losing though, unfortunately, but I don't know. We might be able to pull it back. I don't know how much use I'm going to be. Oh, and you are kidding me. I just bounced off the RT. Oh, that could bite me in the arse. There's a reload. Can I take him out before he gets me? Please don't bounce again. There we go. Well, got him the second time. And... oh, never. And I never even saw him come in when that actually happened either. It was just, I exploded, looked at the map, and he must have just come out of nowhere, zipping straight round to put one into the back of me, and that was me done. But it was a 4,000 damage game. Excuse me, 3,215 blocked. And now I've cleared my throat, but it was still a loss, which was a little bit disappointing, but I came top of the table, which was nice, and that was the highest damage game I've had in the T10. And it's, I don't know, I'm kind of starting to warm to it a little bit now. I'm picking it up, and thank you for your advice on playing it. But there you go. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's episode. Like I say, I apologise for those of you that aren't keen on heavy tanks, but it'll be a bit more varied, and possibly a Lerva review tomorrow, but we shall have to see. So until then, as always, take care out there, and I will catch you next time. See you later.